Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Gonenomad. Today we're picking up where we left off, which was...
We were at Picacho.
So we're at Picacho Peak State Park. We stayed there for probably 3 weeks.
I think so, yeah.
And after that, then we kind of went around the corner. There's a Picacho Peak RV Resort. And little different than what we're used to. It's more about, it was a 55 and
older community.
Which we're allowed to stay. I think we talked about it in our last video. A certain percentage has to be over 55.
Yeah.
So what this park gives, it's a little quieter as far as some of the campgrounds go, but you're packed in there kind of tight. They've got a lot of sites. They've got permanent housing there, park models and things like that. But there's a lot of amenities. They've got pool and hot tub.
Pickleball courts, bingo, all kinds of activities.
Yeah, just things going on all the time. Little putting green and...
they got a little cantina that they do a few times a week.
We didn't go to, a lot of these. In fact, I don't think we went to any of the little events, but we did. We were exposed to pickleball.
Oh, I think that's my favorite new sport.
It's like a mini version of tennis. The courts are smaller, and I think it's meant for old people, but... So we started...
What are you trying to say?
We started playing that like 2-3 days a week, and it got pretty intense.
Yeah.
We were having our little battles, and my mom, she came in, spent some time with us at the campground, and so it was like those two versus me, and by the time we left there, we were getting pretty darn good. We had a lot of fun.
Definitely.
But while we were there, we'd go on little walks out back every day because it's right kind of at the base of Picacho Peak. So obviously we didn't ascend, go all the way to the top. We did that, through the state park where you could actually get to the trails. But just kind of walking to the desert, and you walk out back. You can climb up on the rocks and.
Oh yeah, and we didn't check them out, but I had spoke to someone before. There's all kinds of caves back there that you can check out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. See? Got to talk to the right people.
It was just really, really scenic. The problem the difference for us was, obviously, there was more people there. And also, we were right next to the highway. Even though, at the state park, the previous month, we were probably the same proximity to the highway, but we had we
had the little buffer mountain
in front of us blocking it. So now we're here right on this major interstate. The traffic was really loud.
You could hear the traffic and you could hear the train that went by all the time, but really, after a couple of days,
you get used
I didn't
to it.
even notice it. Actually, the sound of the train put me to sleep at night, but...
I did. It's just not the same as far as sitting, But you've got full hookups, septic and, water and electric. Where the state parks, you don't get all the amenities, obviously, but you're definitely spread out a little more and a little more scenic.
Yeah. Yep.
So we were playing, we'd go on the putting green and screw around, and...
There's all kinds of... A lot of the people there have some form of utility vehicle, whether it's a golf cart, a side-by-side, four-wheeler, whatever. There's all kinds of trails or whatever that they can ride back there. And actually, I went on one of the awesome ladies there I met. She took me and his mom on.
They went on
a
like
little
a
tour
little
back
half-day
there.
adventure driving around on the trails and stuff.
It was sweet.
That was kind of cool, but it was just kind of a nice little community feel.
Yeah.
And another reason we spent there we spent so much time there was finances. If we're staying somewhere at $15, $20 a day, we were able to stay there for I think it was like $500 for the whole month.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap.
So that helped financially, just being there for a month. And then, while we were there, we were able to go on our hike for a week and not worry about putting the camper in storage and cleaning out the fridge and going through all that. So we do little day hikes up, and then we went. We just kind of drove around one day, and probably within 5 miles of the place, we went through the little town of Red Rock.
Yeah, and it was actually kind of, wasn't that headed towards Ironwood National Forest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, we're just kind of driving around, and I see this old kind of structure by the road. I'm like, well, let's go check that out. And so you drive on these little dirt roads, and just this old stone building with multiple rooms. You know, you could tell it was pretty old and falling apart, and it was kind of cool looking. And so we hung around there, took some pictures, and then you drive up the road a little further. There was another little building, and then you come to all these just crazy structures, and you know, you could see where like this, it was probably a half mile, this thing they had carved into the mountain with all these trestles. And
Yeah.
so we started exploring all these old concrete foundations and buildings, and there was a huge,
And a
you
huge
know,
big like
round
silo, but it was concrete. You
So
couldn't see what was in it.
I mean,
but-
just crazy. I mean, probably 20 acres, just solid foundations.
Yep.
I mean, every 10 feet you'd go somewhere and you'd find another
you could tell where there was another building.
foundation
and
was grown over, and then we got down in the little catacombs, and it was like the underbelly
that
of
was crazy.
whatever facility this was at one point. I, you know, kind of figured out just looking at it, it was some type of mining operation, and you can see where they were loading trucks on the one side, and they had these runways, and
Yep.
just pretty wild. So when we got back, we actually
You
looked
hopped
it up,
on, yeah.
and I guess it was one of the largest mining operations in the area, where all these surrounding mines, they would bring all the ore or the product there and smelt it out or separate it and then load it on trucks. But there was basically a little town there.
And that's what the first building we went to, come to find out, because we were trying to figure out what it was. You know, they were just one room areas, you know. There was like 4 or 5 all together, but, you know, we were like, was it a jail or what? But come to find out.
The first building we went to was the hotel.
Yep.
The next little structure we found out was a little jail, and it was probably 10 by 10. It was tiny. And then all the other things we looked at were the operations, you know, for this place.
Yeah.
But it was pretty wild. And then not too far away, we drove the other way around, and there was an old cemetery. A lot of this is on private property now, but probably a lot of history in that area. You know, if you were to do your research and probably spend a little more time exploring, you'd probably dig up some pretty cool nuggets of information. But so these were the type of things we were doing at that campground. We'd go on a day hike or a drive or hike out back or hang out at the resort, and
It was really cool. I mean, honestly.
yeah, I mean, I was, you know, by the end of 30 days, the end of a month, I was itching to get, you know, back to a little more rustic
Cruising,
camping.
yeah. Well, the other thing that was really cool is this year, I think because the weather warmed up so much.
Hold on a second. Coda's. Go ahead, you can keep talking.
Coda's telling her story.
No.
Is that there was actually, we've seen more flowers blooming this year. And, I mean, it was just really, really cool because last year we didn't get a chance to see really anything, you know. The cactus weren't blooming, nothing like that, but
The whole mountain desert, everything's been a lot greener this year. They had
Oh my gosh,
a little more
awesome.
rain early, so that was kind of neat.
definitely.
And you know, another trip we did out of there, we drove probably an hour and a half down through Tucson, and then you actually go east of Tucson a little bit. It's probably the southern side of the Catalina Mountains, and it's called Sabino Canyon.
Awesome.
That's a phenomenal area.
I love that.
You know, from watching our videos, you know, we kind of fell in love with the Catalinas last year, and this is, you know, a side of it that we hadn't seen. But I think we parked Sabino Canyon area, and then we actually hiked the canyon we hiked up was Bear Canyon. And so we hiked up Bear Canyon, and at the end of it is Seven Falls, what they call. So it was a great, you know, a couple hour hike out there, and then it's just these waterfalls and these pools, and
It was really cool.
it was beautiful. I mean, there were some young kids there, and we were watching them. They were, you know, they'd scamper up the rocks, and it was pretty cold because, I mean, this is all mountain runoff. It's probably a 65-degree day, and that water was probably 40, you know, coming off the snow melt.
Oh, yeah.
So they would climb up and then jump off like 10 feet into some of these pools, and I can't imagine what it's like in the summer. It's got to be packed.
Because
you
even
know?
when we went, I mean, this place was,
Yeah, it was
packed,
busy.
and it was during the week. So, yeah, they get a lot of foot traffic there.
That was just a really cool, you know, day hike, and awesome trail. If you're ever in that area, I would check out, you know, Sabino Canyon, Bear Canyon, that area down
That's
there.
a definite.
In fact, we want to go back and
Heck yeah.
hike some more, but
I mean, there's literally hundreds of trails there.
yeah, it's really, there's a lot to do.
Yep.
So then, doing more hanging out at the resort, and then I get a call. We've been kind of keeping in contact with the more we explore a little bit. They're fellow YouTubers that are in the process of going full time. And I got an email from them stating, hey, we're coming from Utah all the way down to Arizona, pick up our new Airstream, and we'd love to meet up with you guys. So this was awesome. We were really excited. They got delayed a little bit. It took longer than they thought, as far as going through the whole sales thing and getting set up. So they rolled in at...
It was like 9 or something, wasn't it?
9, 10 o'clock at night, I think. And, I give credit to them. That's a long day, driving down from Utah, going through all the excitement, the emotion of, buying your first camper, and then, hauling a trailer for the first time, and then rolling in, meeting strangers at 10 o'clock at night.
Strangers, but yet not strangers.
So, they pulled in, and I just kind of walked them to a site in a quick introduction, and we made plans to go hiking the next day. So, really didn't know anything about them, just what we've been, following on their YouTube channel, and we know that they're like us. They love hiking and photography and, just camping in general. So
they're really, really awesome people.
Yeah. So the next morning we get up and, we kind of meet up, let the dogs meet, Coda and Fender. And kind of introduce ourselves, Steve and Tess. And they didn't have a lot of time. A couple reasons. One, they had to get back, and two, there was a crazy storm coming. So we only went out for a couple hours. And we just went over to the state park, Picacho Peak, and we just did a little hike out back. Just great to spend time with not only like-minded people. I mean, we meet a lot of people that like to hike, and, that's kind of the beauty of the lifestyle, that we live.
Oh, exactly.
But it was just like a step up. I mean, they were just so cool, so down to earth, and
awesome, really, really cool people.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, okay, I've spent an hour with you guys, now we're like friends for life, I mean.
Definitely.
So we just went for a quick couple hour hike with these guys. Had a blast. We are I'm over the top excited about their move. They're a little one step closer to going full time. Just an excellent couple.
Good friends. These guys are fast hikers.
Yeah, way fun.
We couldn't keep up.
I think there's
Don't let the knee brace fool you. It's all an act.
Don't listen to it at all.
No, I think there's a lot of talking going on.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
guys
so
are
much.
awesome.
Had a blast.
So nice to meet you. This will not be the last time we meet.
So that was awesome. We kind of, said our goodbyes, and I think everybody's, kind of thinking, all right, when is the next time we're going to meet up, and making plans already about, not only networking with them, but just crisscrossing paths and spending some time, in the future. And it's cool because they're into hobbies that we're not, we're into things they're not, and then there's a lot of things that just kind of overlap too. So
Yeah, it was a good fit.
that was awesome. I really encourage anybody watching our channel or watching this video to go check
You got to check theirs out.
check their channel out. And I just watched it the other day. They did a little video on our meetup, but then they did one on their drive back. I don't think you've watched it yet.
No, not yet.
Man, that looked like quite the harrowing adventure. I mean, they were running on, no sleep and
Oh, I heard you though.
all the adrenaline from hauling everything, and then driving through a storm, and so they made it back in one piece. And
Yay.
just want to say thanks to them, and we appreciate them taking the time to come and see us, and look forward to hanging out with them.
Definitely.
So that's about it. That was a month of our life, and the time we spent down there, and the meet up with those guys.
And the other thing I just want to mention is back to why we were at that resort is there was absolutely nothing available anywhere. Every single place was packed.
It's nuts this year. Places that we were trying to book 3 weeks, a month in advance. I don't care if it's private campgrounds, state parks, everything is just full down here. We ran into a little bit last year, but it's been
Not as much as this year. I mean, it's gotten to the point where you have to make reservations. You have to know where you're going and how
way
long
in
you're gonna be
advance,
there.
because now we've been 2 months like that. Because
Yep.
after that, then we actually did slide into a little county park.
Right. Yep.
Then we couldn't find anywhere, so we stayed with some friends. First time we did that, we camped kind of in their driveway.
Which is cool.
Then since then, we've been boondocking for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Which is awesome. You get a killer view there.
But there's just nothing available. Everything's booked solid. So that's something we're gonna have to deal with down the road as far as finding other accommodations or I really don't want to book, 6 months, 2 months in advance, because that's part of the beauty of this lifestyle, is being able to, be free and.
I'm saying that's not who we are either. I mean, we just wing it,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I don't know. We're gonna have to. That's definitely an issue with the industry. I think we're.
Because even the boondocking places, they're getting packed.
They're packed. I mean, I want to be spontaneous. That's part of this. I mean, I have no problem having a reservation a couple weeks out or a week out. But
Right. Not
if I have
months.
to plan my life months in advance.
It's like you're on vacation again, and
So hopefully there'll be a solution. So that was that. What other news? Anything good? Oh, we got to show off the official I Am Happy. I Camp Happy.
And
I made Tinkle in the Woods.
new gear.
We finally ordered some of our own gear and able to wear those. So we've got a bunch of t-shirt designs. We didn't get as many done as we wanted, but we're hoping to add to that all the time. So I encourage anybody that wants to wear some cool t-shirts or support us.
Check it out. And
There's a link in the description of this video, or if you go to our main page next to the little Facebook icon and all that, you'll see one that says Shop Our Gear. We've got everything priced really cheap. I mean, most places you're going to be $22, $24 for a custom t-shirt online that I've seen. I think ours are anywhere from $16 to $22 or something. I mean,
Just
so
depends.
we're not making a lot. It's kind of a hobby, and
just kind of help us out a little bit.
yeah, I mean,
little
we
bit of
appreciate it.
support.
It cuts down. It helps with some of the production costs of uploading videos and internet and all that good stuff. So
Plus, we want you guys to spread the word.
yeah, spread the word, share us, and wear some cool t-shirts.
There you go.
I guess that's it. We appreciate everything as always, and we're gonna wrap it up and catch you guys soon.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for everything.